Hello Year 9, we have 1 week left before we welcome you back into school, and we're really excited to see you. As you're aware, it's Wednesday that we'll be returning. We just want to take a moment and thank you all for your hard work and engagement with the remote learning. We know it's been really difficult, but together we've overcome it and we will continue to do so. So remember, we're here to help and support you throughout your journey here, and we really, through hard work and teamwork and resilience, we'll be even better learners.
So first and foremost, how to prepare for your return next Wednesday. So some of the things that you need to think about doing moving forwards from this point. So normalise your sleeping pattern. I know it's so easy to get into a bad sleeping pattern. I've done it myself. So start setting an alarm when you would normally get up for school, and then work as you would do if you was at school, and then get to bed at a nice decent time so you're still getting a good night's sleep. You need to make sure that you get your uniform washed and digging out your school shoes. We've still got really high standards for our uniform when we return on Wednesday, so we don't want to see people tipping up in trainers if they have got school shoes at home. So safety first. Have you got your face mask? Have you got your hand wash? We will provide hand washing in school, but if you've got your own, then it just allows you to be even more safer. Get your school bag ready. Don't leave it to the morning when you're returning to school and you're trying to scrape around for all your equipment. Be nice and prepared, and that will lead to a stress-free morning next Wednesday. And probably the most important thing for you all to do, I know you've been remote learning for some time now, is to change that mindset of you're going to be back in school and it's time to start working hard. You're all starting a really important process once you return to school, so it's really important now that you've got that working mindset back.
Okay, so just to remind you of our team values, responsibility, determination, and success, and everything we do at school underpins this. We need to work together and to make sure, that we make it successful here at Waterhead. So, being responsible in all we do, being determined in all we do, and being successful in all we do. And, what can we do to be respectful as well is something to really think about on your return. We've got lots of exciting things coming up, which we've already discussed in previous assemblies. And, I know the last 2 weeks you will have seen some taster sessions over the remote learning for the option process, and that will continue on your return over the next few weeks. So, go and speak to those teachers that you're interested in taking up, the subjects that you're taking up. It's your responsibility to go and speak to those teachers, being determined, and in order to be successful.
So, for your return to school, so Wednesday will look a little bit different for year nines. Okay, so you will return to school in your allocated time depending on what form group you are in. Okay, you will access school through the green gates and use the right side channel. This will then lead to you transitioning down the ramp, across the playground and towards the sports hall where you'll be allocated a seat. So if you look here, you've got 9D1 and 9D2 arriving at normal time, 8:40. We've got 9D3 and H1 arriving at 9:40, H2 and H3 arriving at 10:40, S1 and S2 arriving at 11:40, and then finally S3 and S4 at 1:10. Okay, so what will happen if you have gave consent to have a test? You will go straight to the sports hall, you'll have your test, and then you'll wait half an hour for your result. Once you've received your result, you will then go straight up to the top floor and you will access your lessons as normal.
So on your return to Waterhead, we request that testing is done for COVID-19, and we've asked for permission from parents to take the test here at Waterhead Academy. And it's really important that we get the testing right. It plays a key role in our efforts to contain the virus and also to prevent it further spreading from person to person. So it will help limit the spread to your family and others in the community. And we don't want any of your loved ones to become critically ill. So what does a negative test mean? So a negative test means that the virus was not detected basically from your nose or throat. It doesn't mean that we have to, you're okay to ignore the government advice. We have to make sure that we still continue to keep the guidance and the routines and expectations around school exactly the same.
So just to discuss the testing process a little further, when you are in school and in the sports hall on Wednesday, and either are waiting to take your test or waiting for your result, you will be expected to be reading in silence, okay? So please bring a book in that's going to interest you. If you've got any books at home that you borrowed from our library, please bring them in. Again, this is with a focus of improving reading ages, reading speeds, your ability to understand different vocabulary, and to interpret and respond to information. Again, it's all with the focus of making you better learners so you've got the best chances of being successful at school.
Okay, so we've still got measures to keep you safe. So like before Christmas, each year group have their own bubble. And as you're aware, ours is on the top floor. But there are lots of changes that we spoke about before Christmas in terms of, classes being in bands and across the U shape of the third floor. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when you return, but just to kind of remind you of that and the reason for that as well.
So next up, how we are planning to keep you safe and how you can keep yourself safe. So just like on our previous return to school from the first lockdown, face masks will be the most effective way of stopping the spread of COVID-19. Face masks are to be worn at all times by every person, so that'll be staff as well as students, unless you have a medical exemption from a doctor. Masks do not need to be worn outside of the building, for example if you've got PE or if you are outside at break or dinner. So again, just the expectations the same as after the first lockdown. Masks must be plain black or blue and be appropriate for school. So we don't want to see any daft or inappropriate markings on your masks. Okay. So if they are the case, then they will be taken off you and you'll be given a mask for that day. Masks should be worn everywhere, including classrooms, which is new in terms of the advice that we had from the first lockdown, on corridors, in communal areas, during transitions, and at break or lunch whilst you are inside the building. Again, you just need to remember that your safety, your family's safety, is at the forefront of our thinking.
Okay, we also have other things in place as well to keep you safe, such as hygiene. Hand sanitizer is still available around the school. You'll still be expected to sanitize your hands on entering and exiting classrooms, just exactly the same as before we broke up for Christmas. Make sure that you're washing your hands regularly, especially when you've been to the loo as well. So the school site and building have been deep cleaned whilst you've been at home. Um, Throughout the day, the door handles will all be cleaned. Every classroom is cleaned when and where is necessary. So, and every time a bubble moves around from break time to back up the stairs, everything again is cleaned in between. Okay, so just a couple of things there to remind you of what to expect when you return.
So with doors and windows being open to help keep rooms safe, we are understanding that sometimes it may be chilly. So we are asking you, if you are in that situation, that you purchase and wear a Waterhead Academy school jumper rather than non-Waterhead Academy school jumpers or hoodies. Okay, if the teacher does decide that the room is really cold, then she or he will allow you to wear a coat inside the classrooms. However, it is a must that they are taken off before you enter the corridors. I know it happened a lot before Christmas, but if you are seen with your coat on the corridors, myself or Miss Poole will take that off you and you will lose it until the end of the day.
Yep, so uniform expectations exactly the same. You must wear your full Waterhead Academy uniform at all times. So that's including your blazer and tie. The jumper is optional, so it's a choice of whether you wear that or not. You need to make sure that your uniform is clean, okay, and there for obvious reasons. So please make sure that you are washing that on a regular basis. You will wear your correct Waterhead PE kit on the days that you have PE. So I know there were a couple of occasions before half term, before the Christmas term, that students were wearing the PE kit on days where they didn't have PE. Form staff, form tutors are well aware of when and you should be having PE, so you need to make sure that you just wear it on the days that you've actually got it. Your parents will be asked to bring in your correct uniform if this isn't followed through.
So our uniform expectations, just to go through them. So you'll have your Waterhead Academy blazer on, black trousers or skirt, your shirt tucked in, top button done, and tie to the top button with the tie the full length of the shirt's buttons with the Waterhead Academy logo showing. And you should be expected to wear black leather shoes. If you do have any issues with this, please contact either of us or your form tutor as soon as possible, and we will try and help where possible.
Yep, and I think we'll try and support you as much as we can. And the PE kit expectations again are exactly the same. So you need to make sure that you've got the school PE t-shirt, training top, which is optional, the shorts, the tracksuit bottoms. There's a list there that you can look through and back at the assembler, but it needs to be suitable trainers. And like again, just to reiterate, they do need to be worn on the days that you have PE and no other times as well. You know, outdoor clothing and hoodies not to be worn around the academy and removed before entering into the school.
So to help maximise our learning experiences at Ward's Head, we have made some adjustments to the school day. This is to help you reach your potential both in school and then get you ready for when you are leaving school. So the big one for us to think about first and foremost is that the Year 9 split lunch will no longer occur. So you will now have your lunch at 11:45 before lesson 4, which will then finish at 12:15. Then you will then go to lesson 4, 5 and 6. Another one, what we have to think about in Year 9 is that the 5 minutes transition between each lesson has been removed. Okay. Fortunately, we've been able to move our classes so that the band classes are all in the same area, so the need for transitioning between lessons will no longer be there. So if you're in X band, you will just be on one corridor, so it shouldn't take more than 30 seconds to travel between classrooms. On Fridays, they will now mirror the other days of the week, meaning there is no additional Friday timetable. This means that all lessons will be at the same time every day, apart from there being no lesson 6 on a Friday because of the 2 p.m. finish, which will continue.
Okay, so report of concern. If there is anything you would like your teachers to know before you return, then please do let us know. This information is for your benefit and will help us to support you on your return. I think that's really, really important. This is a confidential way to share any concerns or worries. You can report them through a form there is a link on here for you to use, but it's also on our weekly newsletter, which you can access on the school website as well. But there will be a link on the website for you to click on and just let us know. Like I say, it's confidential and it's really important that you do inform us before we start. So moving on, we've got lots of wonderful certificates to give out to lots of wonderful students in our year group. So the first nomination this week in English is for Jaden, and I know Jaden has sent me a fantastic story that he written on his own, but he has been nominated by his subject teacher. He attends all live lessons, hands working to a high standard every day, and goes above and beyond. And I think the teachers mentioned there as well about how fabulous his short story is. So well done to you, Jaden.
Next up, we have English as an additional language that goes to Aisha, who's a really hard worker, flies through her work on Lexia.com and hands in all the other globe work set for her. She's never been in the building and hasn't met us yet, but that doesn't stop her. I've had the pleasure of speaking with Aisha as well, and she seems like a really lovely girl. So well done to you.
The maths nomination goes to Nayab from 9D2, making really good progress in maths and showing a great commitment to consistent, high quality work. Well done, Nayab.
Next up for science, we have Faria from 9S2, who has completed all her assignments this week and done some superb note taking on density. So well done to you, Faria.
Nayab, again, 9D2, so well done to you, Nayab. That's your second nomination so far for working really hard and really impressing her teacher with good effort and achievement. So well done again to you.
For geography, we have Nayab again, someone's popular this week, for your fantastic sustained high effort with your geography work. So well done, we're all really proud of you.
Well done, Nayab. The history nomination goes to Dowd. He was always enthusiastic about his history work and sends in brilliant work, so well done to you, Dowd.
For religious studies, we have Rayhan, who's engaged excellently and shown a brilliant attitude, so well done to you, Rayhan.
And the P nomination goes to Maisie from 9S1. Excellent engagement in the home workout. Well done to you. Okay, so just to kind of finalise that, you know, we will make it work next week. You know we've had a really tough lockdown, probably tougher this time than it was in the first one, but we are here to support you on your return. We're really looking forward to seeing you. We're really looking forward to the option process, which we will try and get done by the end of March. And you know, we're looking forward to getting back to some form of normality. So like I say, if you need us to know anything before we begin on Wednesday, then please let us know. Like I say, go back onto the assembly, go on the school website and have a look for that link. And alternatively, give us a ring, give us a text, or contact us on Teams. And we will see you next week.